Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Resident Rulebreakers. I'm Kayla,
And I'm Camille.
and I hope everyone that our American listeners had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
I hope y'all didn't gain too much weight.
Yeah, that's the holiday of gluttony.
I hope nobody got pushed around on Black Friday sales. That's even worse.
Yeah, it's even worse. But we still have a resident episode that aired this week. And while not holiday themed, which is something they really should have totally pulled.
No, right? I would have liked to see them do a Thanksgiving episode.
Especially since apparently it was, because the date in the previous episode was in November. They could have totally pulled it off.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're right in the same time frame that we're in, just 4 years in the future.
Well, I mean, 2025, when is Thanksgiving on 2025?
It's the last Thursday of November, so whatever. Anyway, point being is they could have totally pulled it off, but they didn't. But nonetheless, still a wonderful episode. It's episode 508 called Old Dogs, No Tricks. It was written by Elizabeth Peterson, which is a new name I haven't heard associated with writing episodes for The Resident before, and directed by Sam Friedlander, who also is a new director. So they're got new people coming, new names coming in to do.
I've seen that name before, though. Sam
but
Friedlander.
not with The Resident.
Not with The Resident.
No, but they're pulling in new directors, they're pulling in new writers. So the major part of this plotline is that Kit hires a surgical coach for Belle and the Raptor, and neither one of them are very happy about this because
I thought it was cute.
It was cute. Neither one of them are very happy about this because they're seasoned surgeons. Okay, they've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. They're like, their ego is totally put in check though in this episode, which I love.
Yeah, I mean, like, AJ knows how to humble himself, which I love about his character. Hey, he learned how to do that over the course of the last 10 years at this point. But the point is, their egos were high and mighty at the beginning of the episode, and Kit's like, oh no, we are not having this. I was like, yeah, she's gonna check them, especially with Belle, because he asked her to keep him in line, right?
Yeah.
And she brings in Dr. Desoto, and not only is she like trauma certified, she's cardiac certified, so she knows their specialties and she knows how to deal with these egotistic doctors. And it was a funny plot line.
I liked it when they were watching the surgery or whatever. She was writing notes and she was like writing really, really fast.
Yeah, I mean, AJ confronts her and he's like, I have retorts to everything that you're trying to tell me that I did wrong or whatever. And she's like, can you let me eat my muffin in peace or you're going to get a mutt from me? And he's like, bye. Like,
but her suggestions actually helped them out in another surgery. You know, when she, like, one of the things that she suggested is asking the anesthesiologist to change the angle of the table so that they can change what they're seeing. They can have an easier time what they see at the field, I don't know, the
surgical field, yeah. Because like Belle had AJ had an organ drift out of his surgical field or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then Belle ambidextrous, and he favors his left hand. So she's like, you need to swap hands to be able to handle it properly or whatever. So he was practicing, and I'm like, that brings back a lot of memories, you know. It wasn't really Belle that was practicing, it was Nina, but I don't think there's a time and a place where any surgeon shouldn't be practicing their skills. So yeah. It was cute.
Maybe that's why they had the shaky hand next week, because
yeah. Well, we're gonna get into the promo,
which I predicted.
Yeah, she did, and I wrote that they took her criticisms to heart and and change. But what's funny, they were rolling the patient in, the guy with the diaphragm, the broken diaphragm, and and they were in there trying to, and before they put him under, he's like, why do you need a surgical coach? I'm like, I would be asking the same question, dude. I mean, seriously.
That is a very valid question. Be like, what is going on here? Why do you need someone to coach you through a surgery? Through my surgery.
Yeah, I know, right? Because you both look like you've been out of medical school for a while now. Yeah, I agree with him. But yeah, so I'm just glad they.
But here's the thing: for those who might think like that, think of it like professional football players, right? Like Tom Brady, best football player, arguably in the world. He still has a coach. So,
yeah, I mean, and not only that, not only does he have the head coach, he has a coach for like his throwing and his
all kinds of things.
Where I'm going.
Traders, he has everything, because there's always chances to improve or whatever.
And not only that, like musical artists that are renowned, they have voice coaches, and like if they're playing an instrument, and a coach to help them get better on their instruments or whatever.
So it's not that it doesn't mean that they're bad.
They're just trying to get better.
Exactly, which is what you want.
What you want,
someone who's stagnant.
I mean, even there was a lot in there from kids. Like even Beyonce has a coach. Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah. So she has a valid point in all this. And the people downplaying the storyline, I think that they did it to show that even Belle and AJ need to have improvement every now and then, even though they're at the top of their game. He's not just an okay doctor, as it was pointed out in the episode.
He's a great doctor. Both Belle and AJ are great doctors. They would not be where they are right now if they were just okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then the little Kit Bell moment I really wanted to touch on was the moment where they're eating lunch or whatever together, and he pulls out her chair. Okay, that's it's a gentlemanly thing to do. Okay. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, he's pulling at her chair. That's so sweet. Like, because that's what you do when you're down here in the South. That's expected, but whatever. That's just a Southern thing. Holding doors and pulling out chairs. That's something that men are expected to do down here. So just one of those things, just bringing that on. I thought it was really cute. But yeah, so he treats her well.
I can't imagine Kit demanding any less.
No.
Like, can you imagine Kit like being okay with anything but?
Yeah. Okay. The next plot line, which I think irritated a lot of Conic fans. It irritated me just for Conrad's sake because it irritated him.
I thought it was cute.
But a lot of the nurses are hovering around Conrad and Gigi because Conrad's made his return to Chastain, and they're trying to use Gigi to get the Conrad to get him to go on a date with them. Because he's the most eligible bachelor in Chastain, if not Atlanta.
It's so weird. I mean, I know it's been like 4 years, but it's still so weird.
Because like when I see, it's still like Conic.
Like, for fans, it's like last month.
Yeah. And a lot of fans are pointing that out. They're like, Nick died like at the beginning of October. No, Nick died at the beginning of October 4 years ago.
But in our minds.
In our minds, yeah.
We're still living in present day.
Yeah.
Nick died like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. And so, yes, for us, and I think that's why they're laying the seeds for the end of season now, but it's not gonna happen next week. Okay. They're laying seeds, and they mentioned this in the Time Jump articles where Conrad was going to have potential love interests through the rest of the season, but he wasn't going to actually get together with anyone until end of season. So we have time. It's going to be difficult.
Do you think him and Billie are going to be a thing?
A lot of people are predicting him and Billie. Billie, in my opinion, is a no-go, mainly because she was Nick's best friend.
It can happen.
Yeah,
no.
it can.
There's nothing wrong with it. Because honestly, I would think that if Nick was, I think Nick would be okay with Billie and him. Especially considering like she cares for Gigi and stuff like that.
She wants Conrad to be happy, which was proven by the end of the episode. A lot of people are like, well, she's jealous, but is it jealous or is it jealousy or is it sadness? Because,
well, I don't know if it's jealous because she wants to be with Conrad or jealous because she wants to like have that, I don't know, relationship, I guess, or possible relationship. I don't know, with anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Billie's in a high power position. I mean, she's chief of surgery. Her pictures on the plastered on the side of the hospital now, which I was like, go girl. Yeah. Because that's where Belle used to be forever. And Kane. So yeah. I was just like,
that
yeah,
was
I really
a little bit of color too.
Yes. But for Conrad, you know, he's just like, I can't stand all these nurses hovering around Gigi and me and all this stuff. And I thought it was really sweet of Hunley to try to like step in and stop that. It was really sweet. I do like the line with the nurses or magicians because they are in many ways. They're heroes. So yeah, I just love Gigi wanting to be with her dad and watch him work and everything. It's going to be difficult though because he's a doctor and at least he's not a surgeon. If he was a surgeon, it might have been a different ballgame. I don't think he would have been able to allow Gigi following him around. But I thought it was really cute. And she wants to be a nurse like Nick, which he's like, well, at least it's practical this time. I can handle that. You know, plus she wants to follow in her mom's footsteps, which is really sweet, I think. She's trying to get answers about her mother, and I think that's really sweet. They're keeping Nick alive, and that's what some fans, I guess, were worried they weren't going to do, but they are. They really are. So, but yeah, they're just like in this episode. I think they're just laying seeds for further down the road. That's just an opinion of mine.
Yeah, I honestly, I like Gigi possibly voicing interest in becoming a nurse like her mom. I did that. I like that. I like that Nurse Hunley also tried to teach her how to, because like Conrad was like pushing on the patient's belly, and Nurse Hunley was like, you know, she was like, Gigi was like, oh, you got her tickle spot, and like Nurse Hunley tried to teach her how to do it, you know. And it was just the cutest little thing. And I honestly, I think it's cute that she's showing interest to be a nurse like her mom.
Yeah, I like it too.
Not a doctor like her dad.
Yeah, because this show, Nick was the only main character that was a nurse, and there was a reason for that scenario. We lost that when they killed Nick off, and we know all the reasoning why this happened, but we did lose it. So I would love them to bring another female character back into the show. It didn't even have to be a female character, a male nurse. That would be like mega representation.
Yeah.
I've seen New Amsterdam has a male nurse. That's a pretty good recurring character. I don't know why the resident can do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be, but to bring I mean, we got Hunley and we've got Jessica and all that stuff, but they get very little screen time.
Jessica is still not.
Jessica was in this episode, but it was nice, and it was nice to see it.
Yeah.
But she got how much screen time?
Barely.
So it's nice to see her, you know. And I tweeted to her that night when she first appeared. It's like, hi Jessica, how are you? It's always nice to see her pop back up. The elderly couple, That old man reminded me of my step grandfather, like big time. He was like stubborn and abstinent, and yeah, that totally reminded me of my stepmother's dad, big time.
What is up with Tasso? With
Irving, or
this,
how rude he is to these
yeah, he's
patients.
like being
Yeah,
a pain in the ass this season.
like
Like,
yeah, it's not the first time either. And I had a comment down here like, why are you so rude, Irving?
like, dude, I'm surprised nobody has called him out yet. I mean, Conrad, I'm sure should have called him out. But
Or Devon, because Devon's like his best
is
friend.
he a Jessica? Is he a
Jessica's his wife, and she's like,
going on?
what's going on? Are you gonna, you can't be rude to patients, talk, Irving.
Between the two of them.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the like elevator scene of the
We're supposed to get more film more. I need more film more. I need them to have their plot line, because I heard that they were supposed to have a plot line, but it's like mysteriously absent.
when
We need more Jessica and Irving. So
yeah.
But to the elderly couple, the man has the early stages of Parkinson's disease, and Devin figures it out through multiple things because like he's stable, so they can't even admit the dude.
But the reason why he came on to the hospital really is because
Wife's exhausted.
Like his caregiver was like getting tired of him,
Mm-hmm.
and he like his caregiver is his wife. You know what I mean? And there's like this whole Medicare insurance thingy. I don't know what's going on.
I'm glad they're bringing it up because it is an issue for the older generation of the of Americans. They don't get much if they don't have a nest egg. They get Medicare, and it really doesn't cover very much.
Yeah.
So their health care just isn't good.
No.
They tend to dish out thousands and tens of thousands of dollars for a hospital stay, but they won't pay for a nursing home or a home health nurse, which are things that will help prevent these hospital stays in the first place. So
yeah,
I guess I have a little bit of experience, grandparents being in nursing homes and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I watched 3 out of 4 grandparents go through this. So.
But yeah, so they had like all of these things going on that made I just like I felt so bad for them between the whole caregiving thing, him having Parkinson's, her having broken heart syndrome,
which has been brought up in this show before.
Yeah, and then now because of the whole. Her health is being put in danger trying to take care of him. He is going to be put in the nursing home and stuff like that. So at first the husband was like, it's you and me together forever, right? And so I was hoping and praying to God she would say no. So I was very happy that she like
stood up for herself. Yeah, I was like, she's like, no, you're going to a nursing home and I'm going to sit at home in my comfy chair and rest. And I was like, oh, good. She's listening to the social worker, who, by the way, is Winston from 5-2, who had every right to sue Chastain.
He did not sue the hospital.
He had every right in the universe to do.
He did not sue the hospital? What the fuck?
But I love seeing.
Almost died.
I love seeing him again, and I love that we have representation of a blind character. By the way, Stephen Wallen's not blind, but Winston is. So, but he's still portraying a blind character, and I think that's really awesome to show that he can overcome his disability and work a normal job. I really love that. You can. I love how he was trying to help them, and then at the end he was talking to Devin and Conrad, and Devin's like, "Thank you for making me break the rules to help the patient." And Conrad's like, "Why haven't you been doing this before? I've been trying to teach you to do this." That's what we're supposed to do.
Oh my god, it's so hilarious.
But yeah, I love seeing him again. And Winston will reappear more through the season. It's definitely a full-on recurring role.
Yep.
So I'm glad to see.
I would have liked him to sue the hospital. Though.
Oh, he had every right in the universe.
Oh, yeah. I would have woken up out of that hospital bed and been like, okay, where's my lawyer? And y'all, nobody here is allowed to touch me.
But Kit was like, I see a way to fix this problem, and she hired him as a social worker. So
yeah, he's just too kind.
He's just too kind to everybody.
He's way too kind because I would have sued somebody's ass. Like seriously.
Yeah, as Devin pointed out in the episode. So
yeah, and I bet you every single person in that hospital would have been like, "Yeah, please sue us. You deserve it."
Because Devin went through it too. So.
Yeah.
But speaking of our boy Devin, this whole plot line gets him to just realize that his love of clinical trials is where he needs to be. He needs to be on the research side of medicine. Yeah. He loves being a hands-on ER doctor, and he's still going to be part-time. But clinical trials and research, without that, we wouldn't have all these breakthroughs and treatments and medications that we have. So there's a reason vaccines and all these other things work. It's because of the research behind it all. So you got to be thankful for science. And I like seeing that. I like seeing they're going to actually maybe show Devin dealing with that part of the plot line, maybe. I don't like seeing him out of the ER, but I also like seeing the other aspect of this, because I'm glad they're both
see Leela.
I miss Leela. I really did miss her. Anuja she's a presence, and she definitely was missed.
So we need her on every episode. Shoot.
Yes. Yeah. But so she'll be back next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Devin's going to be going more into clinical trials, go part-time in the ER. And that's where Kaylee Ronan comes into the picture. Take over for what Devin isn't doing.
Yeah.
That's really those were all the topics that were in the episode. So we're going to just move into, we really had a good segue right into news here. The ratings for the episode, the demo was one of the lowest demos the show's had, but it's also the week of a major holiday for same day. But the viewer count was still pretty steady and pretty normal, 3-1. Next week's episode, as y'all probably seen the promo by now, because it's on our Instagram, it's in the Facebook group, it's pretty much everywhere at this point. Seen the shaky hand from Bill.
Oh, that is back, baby.
Episode 509 is called He'd Really Like to Put in a Central Line. And the description I have says, Conrad takes Trevor under his wing to care for a patient whose good luck seems to have run out. Leela struggles when given a decision to take full responsibility for her indecisive patient. And the Raptor continues to try to figure out a care plan for his mother. Devin and Kit are stretched far too thin, trying to balance everything in their lives. So it's in the promo with Belle's shaky hand, but there's more of that seems to be leading into the finale as well. So that's really not referenced in the description, but it is in the promo. This episode will air November 30th, and then our podcast release on the 6th of December. So, and then guest stars Michael Hogan, Tasso, Jessica, Denitra, Skylar Days. I'm glad that they brought her back because I like her.
Yeah.
Anisha will be back playing Padma, and Vince Foster, and then Remy will be back as well. Some more Gigi. And of course, then the mid-season finale, which will air December 7th. Podcast released December 13th. It's called Unknown Origin. It's episode 510. And it's the last scheduled episode until February. Notable guest stars Michael Hogan, Tasso Feldman, Jessica Meisel, Denitra Eisler, Vince Foster, Kaylee Ronan, who's playing the new ER doctor, also Conrad's potential love interest, and Stephen Wallen will be back as Winston. Anna McKenzie, who plays Marion, the lady from the daycare. And then I'm guessing she's also a potential love interest at this point. And then, of course, Ruby's back. The description pretty much says, Kit's first day of Kit's experimental flight go team sends Conrad out into the field. He builds a new relationship with a fellow doctor along for the ride. Devin works with Trevor for the first time on a patient with a mysterious fever, the cause of which can't be found. Meanwhile, Belle is hiding a secret from the whole staff, and they are starting to become suspicious. I have a feeling that the only person in that staff knows Devil's secret is Conrad, because the promo kind of reveals that there. I think, and I hate just the shaky hand. I'm like, we don't need Hodad to make his reappearance, okay? We had too much development over these past few years to have Hodad come back.
Maybe it's just, maybe it's just a shaky hand without the personality.
I hope so, because that, the medical issue probably never actually faded away. He's just been able to handle it, and he's under probably some stress or something, and it reappeared, which I'm glad they're actually because the fandom's been asking where'd it go, and it's a plot hole, and so I'm glad maybe they're listening to us finally about this one. So I'm okay with that. But if they bring back and progress his character, I will be calling him out. There is like I said, the mid-season premiere or the winter premiere will air February 1st. So we've got a long break, which I know some fans are moaning and groaning about, but enjoy your holidays with your family members and your loved ones and everything.
Thank you guys for listening.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So our next podcast after the one for the mid-season finale that will release on the 13th will release January 31st, as long as Camille's recovered from surgery enough to do so. And it will be a podcast pretty much rounding up all the news and synopsises and stuff prior to the premiere. So Camille's going to eventually have surgery in January and everything. So there's a reason why we're shutting down the podcast for so long. But we're busy. We're still going to be busy for up to the leading up to Christmas. And
so, our podcast, we have a second podcast called Hallmark Heartbeats. Kayla is joining me over there. We are talking Hallmark Christmas movies, and oh my God, we have so many interviews and podcasts to release. I think we have like 6 just this week alone. Go join us over at Hallmark Heartbeats podcast, please.
Yes, there's a lot of movies airing. And if you like, I don't have Hallmark Channel or whatever, Friendly TV app, it's like, what, $9 a month now? Anyway, $9 a month will give you Hallmark Channel, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, and all their other channels. And then you also get like Lifetime and everything else too. So it's worth the app because you can record and watch it later. So it's a really cool app. We're just letting you know, because like you watch The Resident on Hulu and you can watch Hallmark movies on Friendly. So you can support both podcasts. The Resident Rulebreakers has a Patreon account. Yep. And little as $1 a month, you get the podcast earlier than we release it to the rest of the world. You get everything earlier. Let's just put it like that. If we have some exciting news, you get it first. Let's just put it like that. Sometimes there's BTS stuff that we don't release. I made a video a couple months ago of how I made the podcast. That's literally the only place it is our Patreon. So yeah, there's a video like that, how all the steps that go through to making the podcast. Yeah. So it's there, little as $1 a month, all it needs. And all that money goes into replacing my computer for now anyway. So Hallmark Heartbeats has a thing, it's very similar, called Buy Me a Coffee, and unedited interviews. I actually got my first member.
Well, I actually got my first monthly supporter, so.
But yeah, she posts unedited interviews and
never released podcasts.
There's stuff on there.
Interviews, stuff like that. Early access probably to interviews as well, that kind of thing. So yeah.
I have a note here. The Residents, if you remember Stephen Reddington from playing Bradley on The Resident, he has a Christmas movie coming out on December 4th called Kirk Franklin's A Gospel of Christmas. It'll be on the Lifetime channel. You can watch it on Friendly TV, by the way. So for Stephen, he'll be in a Christmas movie. He's very excited about it. So
I'm a huge Kirk Franklin fan, so I'm excited about that.
So yeah, Stephen will be in a Christmas movie coming up. So he played Bradley in seasons 1 and 2. So there are ways you can contact us. We have our email address, which is theresidentRulebreakers@gmail.com. And then, of course, we have the Facebook page, which is the Resident Rulebreakers Podcast, and the Facebook group, which is the Resident Fox Fans. And if you're not in the group, answer all the questions and we'll let you in. Then we have our Instagram, which is at the Resident Podcast. And of course, Camille's at the Resident on Fox Fans, and I'm at QB Country 37. And we have our Twitter, which is at Resident Podcast. And I live tweet from there every air night. Anyway, so next week's episode will be episode 5-9. He'd really like to put in a central line. So have a safe week and talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.